Here we are at the Beverly Garland Hotel, and this afternoon, it's Saturday afternoon, and there is Terry Moore. My, we have a lot of beautiful stars from the 50s and 60s. There's Terry Moore signing autographs from all her wonderful films. And guess what? Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at Terry here. My God, look at this. This is Terry Moore. Isn't this beautiful? Terry, my darling, how are you? Signing autographs like crazy, and this is Why Must I Die? Did you see this one of Terry there? Good God. This is okay. Terry Moore, how are you, darling? Signing autographs.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Beverly Garland. So what's happening here this afternoon?
Well, I've never seen so many ardent fans. It's wonderful. I've never been to anything like this. And
is this your first?
Yes, and someone called me late last night, so I just brought all the old pictures.
Oh, wonderful. You got some open. This is beautiful. What was this?
That was at Paramount. Come back, Little Sheba.
How many contracts have you been signed? You were at Paramount?
Paramount, RKO, 20th Century Fox, and Columbia. And Eagle Lion.
How's Jerry there? How's Jerry? How you doing?
Hey, Skippy, how are you?
You look great, Jerry.
I do.
Skippy, you've got amazing this energy. I see you everywhere.
Yes.
Let you see you later. Bye. Testing, hello. Here I am right now at the Beverly Garland. Let's go down and take a look. And here is Tommy Bond. How are you, Tommy?
Skip, how are you?
Tommy, how you doing?
Good to see you again.
Good. Hi, darling. How are you?
Kiss.
Kiss. I can't kiss you from here, darling. But Tommy Bond, how have you been? What's exciting in the darn right? It's Butch.
Well, you know, you did an interview with me before on that.
Right.
Before the book came out, well, it's out.
It's out now.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's out in
And
every
how is it
bookstore.
doing?
Very good, very well, very well.
This is the book, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It is, it's all about Tommy, all about our gang comedy guys,
Yeah,
right?
right,
What's
right.
really about Hollywood.
Well, it's kind of like an inside look at the old days of Hollywood.
Could you share just a little line about Hollywood those days when you guys were all together? What's stuck in your mind being all together that's really... You tell your wives about it and all that.
Well, the only way I can describe us kids was that we were the age of innocence.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Which is different than kids today. Kids today are more sophisticated, you know.
Did you see the movie Our Gang Comedy yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet, and it isn't because I don't want to.
Right.
I did meet the kids on Good Morning America.
Right.
And they're very talented, very wonderful kids, and I especially love Pete the dog.
You look great. You look just great.
I feel terrific, and I've been real busy with other things too.
You're producing now? Or?
Well, no, I'm representing Cabin Fever, who put out all the mint prints of the Little Rascals. So they've had me going all over the country representing them.
You look just great. What's his secret, Jonah? What is his secret?
I think you know what they call him over at Cabin Fever. That pink ever-ready rabbit that keeps hopping along.
Right.
I think it's Energizer battery.
Keeping busy. That's the secret, right? Keeping busy.
But I do want to say one thing.
Yes, Tommy.
I think the interview that you did with me was one of the best I have ever had, and I cherish it.
And I'm so sorry that you didn't get the tape sooner than that. Okay?
I got it, and it's wonderful.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Kip.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
She was,
Oh, right, of course. How are you, my
Very
darling?
good. How are
Look
you?
Who do we have here? Ladies and gentlemen, you remember this beautiful little lady? I do. Look at this. Look at those curls. What happened to the curls, darling?
I got older and I thought it'd be better to cut them off.
Uh-huh. What age were you when you first started?
When I first started making pictures was 2 years old, but that was at the old Jesse Lasky Studios with Bull and Nigra.
Who got you into the films? Your mommy or did you?
My mom was in silence. She worked with Wallace Reid and Ralph Valentino and a few others like...
So you grew up here in Hollywood?
Yes, I was born in Los Angeles.
Same as Butch, seeing the changes of Hollywood, California.
Yes.
Drastic, huh, guys?
Yes, it's a very sad thing to see. Very sad.
You still live here?
No, I'm up in the Bay Area now, but my heart's down here a lot.
Explain some of the gang here for me.
Okay.
Here we go.
This is Farina here and Chubby.
Right.
And Petey the Pup with Harry Lucenay, his trainer.
Right.
And that's me. And Marianne Jackson. And Jackie, no, Jackie and Weezer. And this is Uncle Bob, who is our director. There's Art Lloyd, who is our cameraman. And Don Sandstrom, who is our assistant director. Tony, who was he used to be out at the ranch and took care of the ranch, watching it.
Were you kids spoiled when you were doing films at the time? You worked awfully hard.
I don't think we were, because we were made to mind, you know, and we were scolded, but we had the biggest playhouse in the world.
And how about school?
We had a real great teacher, Fern Carter, and of course the California rules.
How do you feel when you get together, when you all get together since you've been children? How do you feel about Tommy and all these wonderful people?
It's a real warm feeling. It's great. I mean, because we still have the same feeling towards each other that we did then.
Isn't that wonderful?
Because Roach's studio was close.
It was a good studio.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Skip.
And thank you for the innocence, guys. Here we are, once again, Little Rascals, our gang comedy. Boy, and here is Pineapple Jack. How are you, Pineapple Jack?
Fine.
Good boy.
Thank you.
I just saw Butch over there, and I said, look at all these wonderful people. How do you feel when you see these wonderful people since you were a little kid? How do you feel?
How I feel? Well, I feel lucky.
You feel lucky?
Lucky to be here, to be with my whole gang.
What has been the most wonderful thing in your life looking back over your career? What has been, looking back as growing up in show business and child,
yes,
what has been the most rewarding for you?
Oh, most rewarding?
Yeah.
Well,
you kids were all together.
Yeah, right.
Look at you here, all of you. Pineapple Jack, look at this.
Yeah, right.
Who's this Pineapple?
That's Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll.
Right. That's Uncle Lou.
Yeah. Right.
Most rewarding is rewarding is being here today. 70 years. Been 70 years in movies, right?
70 years?
70.
70 years in films.
Films, right.
Do you hear that? 70 years. So look at this man.
70 years in films, right.
It's incredible.
And you know one thing?
Yes. Go ahead.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything that traffic will allow. No way you can get that happy feeling. Here's when I'm stealing, honey, that extra bow.
That is total show business. Thank you, Pineapple Jack. Nice
Thank you,
seeing
love.
you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. Okay. Kyle, looking today, how do you feel about it? Come on. See that.
He was darn cute.
He wasn't he? Working with these wonderful people that worked with you. Tell me about it.
Brian Keith is a gem. He's a great guy.
Right.
A pseudo father figure, but I had my own father, but we still were good friends. Sebastian Cabot didn't show his affection like Brian did.
Right.
I mean, Brian was open and he showed it. Whereas Sebastian was more reserved. He would give us little presents under the table.
Right.
Didn't want us to know that he liked us.
Did Brian Keith help you at all on the set? Any advice?
He never, through his actions and through working with him,
right.
He'd give you, nudges and say, don't do that, do this,
The show was very successful. What do you thought? I mean, because it was Innocence, what do you think? Let's go back.
I believe Family Affair was one of the best shows of its kind because it was honest.
That's right.
And it, there's a reason why Family Affair never lost. It was always in the top 10.
Right.
All 4 years, and the last year it got in about the top 20. Because of the writing, the situations were always honest and positive and good. I mean, you always had a problem and it was solved in 30 minutes. I mean, that's not real life, but the way that they made it, the way that the writers made it, you believed it and you felt good and you enjoyed watching it.
Right. Johnny Whiitaker, I want to know something about Celeste Holmes and you and that wonderful, that Huckleberry Finn?
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Close enough.
Same thing. Yeah. Huckleberry Tom Sawyer. It was Tom Sawyer, and it was a good movie.
Great movie.
Good movie.
And Celeste was...
working with her. Oh, I love her.
She is a wonderful human being. And I think about her. I see her every once in a while.
You do?
and wonderful human being. Besides being a fantastic actress, but with Celeste and I, we just had a great 2 months working on Tom Sawyer, and have been friends ever since.
Family affair. This has been all over the world.
Yes.
They're still showing it.
Yeah, right now in the United States, it's on the FX channel.
Is it?
And twice on Sunday.
So what's happening and exciting right now? Writing a book about your life as a child here in Hollywood?
I've got a book in the works.
You do?
I'm working with a friend of mine who's actually a child psychiatrist.
That's a good one.
And kind of dealing with my own problems.
Do you think you actually had problems as a child here working in films?
I didn't have any trouble myself.
Really?
I mean, it's the aftermath that's the difficult thing, in my opinion.
As a child?
Yeah.
Would you advise young children to get into films today?
Oh, I would. But right now I'm working on the joint SAG and AFTRA Young Performers Committee. Mm-hmm. And what that is doing is working in getting the situations that have perpetuated themselves because there are more laws and regulations regarding animals on the set than there are regarding children on the set, which is horrendous. And there are more opportunities to take advantage of the children and their innocence than anything else. And that's what we in the Children's Committee are working to help prevent and give the kids more
Johnny
power.
Whiitaker, I wanted to ask you, looking back, would you do it the same way? Would you?
There's a lot of things I'd change, but I think on the whole, I'd say that I wouldn't change more than about 20%.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a good life.
So you would say you had a good time as a child?
Oh, hey, getting to meet presidents of the United States, governors, baseball players, football players, basketball players, going all over the United States, all over the world to meet with people. And education for me, that I speak 5 languages. I am fairly articulate and pretty well-rounded. I had a great life.
The book. I'm so excited about it. I hope it comes out soon, Johnny, okay?
Okay.
I think the young kids out there really want to say, he wants your autograph. Let's go. And get it. Okay, Johnny?
Thank you, Skippy.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, you want to...
I'm just being polite.
Here I am right now, and I'm sitting at Tommy Kirk's table. And hi, Tommy, how are you?
Skip, how are you? Fine. I'm fine.
Walt Disney. Oh, come on. How many Disney things have you done?
I did 12.
Has it been 12?
12, 30 years ago. Yeah.
I know 30 years ago. Look at you here. I think this is great.
That was the first.
This was. What was this, Tommy? Which one was
Shaggy Dog.
Shaggy Dog. Tell me about working with, are you okay? Tell me about working with the Disney people.
Oh, it's a fantastic memory, you know, back in the old days, because everything's changed. But I remember Walt being on the set every day, and he was very familiar.
Was he very strict?
No, he was very easygoing. I never see he was very soft-spoken, a very nice, gentle person, because I never saw him behind closed doors, you know what I mean? But on the set, he was very humble, very nice man.
Who's your favorite of all your Disney's film? You must have.
I guess it's with this lady. That's Beverly Washburn, Old Yeller.
I know. And this is it was one of your favorites?
Yeah, that was really the first one, and I think it was the best.
It was your very first?
Yeah.
With Beverly?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. Hi, Beverly.
Hi, Skip. How are you?
I'm just looking at your picture, you and Tommy together.
We haven't aged or anything, have we?
No, but you look great. Looking at that picture, looking back, what do you think? How do you feel about it? I mean, do you still remember that feeling?
Oh, you bet I do.
Really? What kind of a feeling was it, really?
It was a wonderful feeling. It was a very wonderful experience. And one of the main reasons I wanted to come here today is to see Tommy again.
We haven't seen each other in 30 years.
You're telling me
30
you two haven't seen each other?
No.
First
we used to go
time
together. We went
since this? Really? Look at this. I'm looking. 30 years?
30 years.
But I'm only 29.
Where do you live, Beverly?
I live in Woodland Hills.
And you?
I live in, well, how do you know? Pico Union, Westlake, Los Angeles.
Up near Mickey
Thank you very much.
I didn't know that.
Tell me, how come you haven't contacted each other?
I don't know. She's had her life, and and she's gone one way and I've gone the other, I guess. We never worked together after Old Yeller.
Working with Disney, do you have fun working?
Yeah, I have fun whatever I do.
Really?
Yes.
What have you been doing?
Actually, I kind of got out of the business for a few years, and now I'm going to get back in, hopefully. I want to do it again.
No regrets as looking back over your career that you were as a child actor? You have no regrets about that?
The only regret I have is that I didn't continue on with it. I kind of got out of it, but I have a lot of wonderful memories.
Or family or your mother?
Just circumstances. I got married and moved away, and but it's a wonderful business.
How about you, Tommy?
No regrets. I enjoyed it. I'm still enjoying it.
How about a book, Tommy? How about a book?
Oh no.
You're not going to do that.
I rather work than write. I mean, what can I say?
What are you doing nowadays, Tommy?
Acting.
You're still acting?
Still acting. I'm a businessman too. And
married, children?
No, still single.
Thank you very much.
Kids?
I'm married again. I'm on my second. This one's working out.
Very happy.
I don't know anything. I know.
No,
I know.
it's the truth, though.
What a nice.
So wonderful to see him again. It really is.
Looking around this room, look at all the people as kid actors.
I know.
You must see
fun.
fun, isn't it?
I know them all.
You enjoy yourself. There's a lot of people want to sign you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Skip.
very much.
Thank you.
You, Carl. Oh, I haven't seen you since World's Greatest Lover, Carl. I mean, remember the World's Greatest Lover with Gene Wilder?
I was the world's greatest lover.
You were wonderful.
Thank you.
You're funny as ever. As funny. Carl, I remember as a child, when I was a kid, you used to work the Chicago Theater.
Yes.
My favorite theater in Chicago.
You were in Chicago then too, weren't you, Skip?
I was working strip joints in Chicago.
I went down to see you in one of those.
And Shecky Green and I were all working clubs there.
Right.
And we used to come and see you.
Yeah.
That's right.
I came to see you too, Skip. That was fun. Very good. Very good.
What movie is this from?
That is from McHale's Navy.
That's right. How long were you on that?
We did that for about 4 or 5 seasons until Mr. Borgnine got sick of it.
That's right. Tell me about Borgnine and working with him. What a great guy.
Great guy. I mean, I don't know when he's going to run off and get married again, but while we worked together, it was terrific.
I see your wife over there. She's a wonderful lady.
I don't know
This one is from New York. She did all those wonderful little clubs.
Upstairs at the downstairs.
Julius Monk's.
The Bones
place.
Yeah. Is that what you call Julius Monkey's place? Married to this crazy man.
It's not easy.
Is he difficult around the house? Is he funny around the house?
It's like being married to a 6'2" midget. The energy is overpowering. The love is wonderful. The jokes are wonderful. The 4 dogs love him, and that's important.
Oh, yeah, the dogs. We got to get out of here and feed them. I've been here since those dogs are starving, Skip.
What do you think about this?
I think it's just
wonderful.
It's terrific. The last time I went to anything like this, I was about 12 years old, and it was a stamp collection place, and that's everybody was a hobbyist, but stamps all the way. Now it's movie stuff, movie memorabilia. This is terrific.
And guess who invited us? It was Edith Fellows who's sitting next to us.
Over there, that lovely lady. Oh, 5 little pennies. How are you, my dear?
5 little pennies. 5 little pennies. And the peppers from heaven.
There we are. Look at this. And Bing Crosby, working with Bing Crosby and pennies.
Yeah, he was.
Tell me about working with Bing.
He was absolutely wonderful.
Was he?
He was the dearest man. And you know, when we started Pennies from Heaven, he had just had his 4th son. And so he said, would you mind if I pretend that you're my little girl, because I was hoping the last one would be a little girl.
Right.
So I said, okay, because my dad isn't around. So it worked both ways. And he was just delightful.
Look at this. I got to know. Yes.
Did you know that Edith Fellows worked when she was 4 years old with Charlie Chase?
And also Shirley Temple. Didn't you do something with Shirley?
No.
That was
Sybil
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
But I've got to tell him.
Go ahead.
She kicked him. Her timing was so perfect. They were in line for Edith, you tell.
Go on, tell us.
What? About when you kicked Charlie Chase. Oh, poor Charlie. That's a terrible thing. But you did it. That was my entrance into the business. He was a lovely man.
He was.
And as young as I was, I do remember him. I think there are just certain people you remember who are nice
You must have some wonderful memories about the wonderful people that you have worked with in Hollywood.
I do.
Looking around this room today,
Oh,
Edith.
Mark Lawrence.
I mean, Edith, doesn't it give you a little chill?
Yes.
Because I just interviewed Tommy, Kirk, and he hasn't seen that lovely lady he did the movie with, Beverly.
Garland?
Yes, he
Yeah.
hasn't seen her in 30 years. Could you imagine?
Oh, what a reunion. Well, I just had a reunion with Monty Montana.
Oh, and how long?
When I was about 6, 7 years old. We did a benefit together, and I was dressed up in an Indian suit with a dagger, and he was in his cowboy. But he's 80-something, God bless him.
But you look beautiful, darling. You sweetie. Yeah, oh yeah. Nice talking to you. Enjoy yourselves, guys.
I'm
Carl.
having the best time.
Making money, huh, Carl? I don't blame you.
I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it for the love of it.
I'll see you later.
And good to see you, Skip.
And Brandon Cruz's table. And Brandon, how are you?
Great, Skip. How you doing?
I'm looking at this picture as you and seeing him and holding you like this. How do you feel about that?
That was a heck of a moment. I remember doing this. These were publicity stills. It wasn't actually for the movie or for the TV show.
Right.
It was just Bill and I out goofing around, and that pretty much sums up the relationship that Bill and I had right there.
Bill Bixby was one of the finest human beings, not just an actor, but you must have had a togetherness there when you were doing your scenes.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch that show a lot. And I was in the Far East, and when I used to come back, I worked in Vietnam entertaining, and that show was one of my favorites because it had such an innocence about it, simplicity, which I love, which we are lacked of today.
Yeah, I believe that too. A lot of the shows today is just to sell a product or to sell a comedian, or to have girls in bikinis running around. We taught good values, something you could teach your kids, something that kids could watch, and that was all because of the way Bill was, and the writers and the directors and the producers. Everyone came together to create a show that I doubt's going to ever be duplicated again.
Growing up in Hollywood, who got you in the films, first of all? Who got you into your mother?
Well, my mom drove me down for one interview that I didn't get, and then my grandmother drove me down for the second interview, which was Eddie's father, which I got. But it was all my idea.
It was your idea. Yeah. So you really wanted to be an actor. Yeah. Do you have any regrets now?
None.
You really don't?
Oh, I traveled the world twice before I was 10 years old. I get to meet incredible people.
Right.
No, it was, what regrets? Hell, I had a great time. Still have a good time.
Picture of you. Look at that picture. When you see yourself as a child on film, how do you feel about that?
I just think of it as
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married. This is my
children?
wife right here.
This is your wife. Hi, how are you?
This is Liz.
Liz, hi, it's Skip Lowe, Liz. Do you have any children?
No, not yet.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Not
asking
yet.
him about how does he feel about looking at this, and I wonder if his children, how would they feel? How do you feel about it? This is your husband.
My favorite photo.
Yes, it's great. I'd like to have one of myself.
You may have one.
Yeah, it's great. How long have you been married?
3 months.
3 months. Congratulations.
Newlyweds, thanks.
Oh, great. That's great. I'll leave you alone then, because if you're newlyweds, okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Skip. Okay.
See you. Hi.
Doing all our gang comedy guys.
Have you? You saw? Yes. Thank you. Wonderful.
Tell me about
Thanks.
yourself. How do you feel looking around here, Joy? Is this you?
Yes.
Is that really you, Joy? Look how beautiful you are. Look at that.
I have all my original.
And these are the ones you've been in.
Yes. This is the movie Follies of 1936, which
Look
is
at
one
you
of
here, carrying on. And here too. Look at that.
Yes.
This is you.
No, this is me.
right
I'm
here.
here. Skippy, look. Skippy.
Oh yes.
Here I am.
That's right. How do you feel about looking around, seeing all these wonderful people that you have worked with when you were a child?
I feel just absolutely thrilled because, when you're 6 years old, Skippy, you don't say, hey, let's get together when we're 66 and talk about all this. So now here I am seeing people I haven't seen for many, many years. It's a wonderful thrill.
Never seen it. Some of them haven't seen each other in 30 years.
That's right, we haven't. We were 6 and 5 years old, Skippy, working at Hal Roach, having a wonderful time. In fact, right here, I was fortunate enough while I was under contract at Hal Roach to be cast in Babes in Toyland as one of the old lady in the shoes children. You see me there. And so that was a wonderful thrill with Laurel and Hardy, you know, and of course, yes, thrilling. They were wonderful.
Wonderful two children.
Had me on their lap and treated me very sweetly. Yes, they were sweet and adorable. You know, Babes in Toyland celebrates its 60th anniversary this year.
Looking at yourself on film, when you look at it, how do you feel?
I can't believe it. In fact, I'm just, when I see this in film, which I saw recently, the video of this, I can't believe it's me. I mean, to hear yourself as a 6-year-old singing The Object of My Affection is just incredible. You know?
Today, the films are lacking innocence. Innocence.
That's what...
Our gang is back now.
That's what I'm going to speak about. No, did you see the new one? No, I didn't go see it because, Skippy, everyone I've talked to says that there's nothing like the black and white and the innocence of children in those days.
There is no innocence today, so they shouldn't have brought it back. I agree.
We know too much today. We know too much to be innocent.
Joy, thank you, darling.
Wonderful.
Say hello to your son for me.
I will. I'll give him your best.
Thank you. Look at all the films you've done. How do you feel, my darling?
Oh, well, I feel great. I'm having a great time today seeing old friends.
Old friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
some of you haven't seen so long. You look absolutely wonderful. What's it new and exciting in your life right now?
Well, I just overcame cancer this year. That's the most exciting thing that I can tell you about. I did. I went through a year of a couple operations and stuff like that. It's gone. I don't know whether it was my mother's prayers or all the herbs or what it was that I did.
I think it's the sense of humor and laughter and the way I'm looking at you. You're so beautiful. I think that is the most important thing, having that pure sense of humor, not stress.
Yes, you know what I did to get well too? One of the things, I made a list of everything that stressed me out, and I got rid of them one by one. And then I realized that the creativity was a part of my life. You know, I went to college and became a counselor at a shelter for battered women. And I do that still, but I'm getting back into the show business. Just got a new manager, a new agent.
Oh, that's
great. I'm writing a one-woman show.
That's
comedy,
or just going to do your life?
It's a stand-up kind of thing, and I'm going to sing in it too.
That's great, Julie.
Yeah.
Looking back, all these wonderful. This is great, Julie.
Oh, that's from Capitol. That's not so long ago.
Right.
That was a soap I did.
And this?
That's Frankie, and I did.
You still see Frankie around?
I see him around, but I haven't talked to him in a while. There's Harvey Lembeck. That was the same film.
Harvey Lembeck.
The Fireball
Wonderful.
500.
Did you go in his class?
I was in his improv class for 6 years. I was one of his original troupe.
And his daughter took over, I understand, after he
and
died.
His son was there for a while, and his son's now director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He does a lot of shows.
Tell me about Elvis.
Elvis was a sweetheart.
Working with Elvis Presley.
Kind of shy. He was shy. But one day I got sick on the set, and I kind of collapsed from just working really hard and not sleeping all that much because we like to party at night when we were in Hawaii.
These animals, they love Julie, don't they? Look at them all surrounded.
They were such fun.
Were they? You had that. You had a tough time though, so now Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful?
I know. I was telling you about the cancer.
Back. This lovely lady here. This is Annie. Hi, Annie.
Hi. How are you?
Oh God, isn't it wonderful how this happens? This is a Hollywood story, a true Hollywood story, and that's beautiful.
And we hadn't seen each other for 30 years, and we didn't even know each other really that well back then, except a couple auditions, and we're fast friends now.
That's great. What's exciting in your life right now?
Well, I would say my art. I'm painting and.
Go to Santa Fe, do you?
No, I haven't been there for a
you'll love
while.
it. I just got back from the opera there. It was just wonderful. I just loved Santa Fe. You would love it.
Oh, I know. I've thought of living there.
Yeah,
It's
me
so
too.
Beautiful.
I want to get out of here. You don't feel like getting out of California, huh?
I would do it if I could work another place because it's getting scary. But I love the beach.
You do?
Yeah. It's hard to leave that.
You love it. Wonderful.
Thank you, Skip.
Looking back over your career, any regrets?
Oh, I wish. I don't know.
Would you do it the same way?
I wish I'd slept with Elvis. No.
Who wouldn't? I would too. I would too, darling. How about you, Ann?
Had a baby. Priscilla.
But
Why not?
I made some mistakes in my life, but
Did you?
at least I made the choices generally. You know, some of them were bad, but some of them were.
You've been around Hollywood a long time.
I have, yes.
What do you think of it today?
I think that's probably why I became an artist. It's harder, I think, to be as creative as it used to be. There were a lot of wonderful shows, and it's changed a lot. What would you think? How do you think it's changed?
It's changed. It has no innocence to it. It's missed the innocence of it all. It just we have men like the lawyer of OJ's. What's his name? What's his name?
The lawyer?
The lawyer. That's Shapiro. We have people like that with no ethics. So that bugs me. What's happening in the world today? You know, that's what's.
Paid to do a job, though, and that's, I guess, what it's down to.
Yes, he's paid to do a job, but with ethics, and he has no ethics. So for me, I just feel.
I've never put innocence and ethics together, but
Well,
it really
I do.
does
Yeah,
go
I do.
together.
It certainly
for
does
sure.
go together.
Yeah.
But Hollywood has changed completely, and tell me the star. You have a star in Hollywood Boulevard, don't you?
No, I don't.
That's what's bugging me. See, now there's another thing. You do have one there?
No.
Yeah. See, two girls
You
who
can
grew
do
up
it
in
for
Hollywood.
us.
Yeah, for $2,500.
Where do you buy those?
That's silly. You don't have to buy them. Shelley Winters says no. You know what I mean? These kids are getting stars because they're buying. They don't belong. Rip Taylor, he's a nightclub comic. He's not a movie actor. Stars. All these people with. But you girls are stars. You're actors. This is showbiz. This is Hollywood. That's what upsets me about Hollywood today. Looking back over your life, who's some of the exciting men that you've worked with?
Well, I would say Elvis was very exciting.
Elvis, didn't you guys? Oh.
We were just talking about Dennis Hopper. He was kind of exciting. And, oh, God. James Harness.
What's your favorite film that you've done?
Did you ask me about boyfriends or people that were exciting?
Exciting. Doesn't matter. That's okay. What's the favorite film that you've done, Ann? Do you have a favorite?
I would say probably Follow That Dream.
Follow That Dream is great. It's wonderful. How about you?
Oh gosh, my favorite film? Actually, my favorite experience would have been in the theater after The Fall. I did with Philip Pine over there. I did the Monroe part, and he did the Quentin part. Oh, it's my passion.
But Los Angeles is getting good theater now.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Give Kim Stanley a little. I don't know why. Annie, darling. Nice talking to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Skippy.
Thank you. Here I am, Edie Williams. How are you, darling? God, you look great. See, all these years here at the...
You see, it pays off. If you just stay in there long enough, and you keep yourself looking healthy and terrific,
Yes.
you keep yourself looking fabulous, and you just, hang in there.
Right.
You can still make a lot of money. It's not like, some people think that an actress has to be 25 years old in order to sustain, being a movie star. Well, we all know Edie Williams is not in her 20s, or 30s, and so here we are.
Edie, tell me something. I gotta know. Oh boy, there she is, the girl from Mars. Edie.
And they're buying this picture. They're buying this picture the most. And they're buying this picture.
Wow, look at that picture.
At $10 a piece.
They're $10 a piece, Edie?
$10 a piece, and you got to graph your pictures.
Tell me about your first film. What was your very, very first? Looking back, can you remember?
Let's see. With Jimmy Ferrantino.
You worked with James, did you?
Jimmy Ferrantino. I was in a film for Universal called The Pad and How to Use It. It was fabulous. And then right after that, I did a picture. We all know Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Right.
And then
you married the man, did you?
Yeah, and I was married to Russ Myers. And then He liked women with big chests.
Stick out your chest, that's it. Boy, she'll never drown. You're doing very well. Edie, tell me, what's exciting in your life? Writing a book right now? Writing a book?
That's terrific idea to write a book.
You should.
Why don't you could be the co-author. The Last Starlet is what we would call it. Edie Williams, The Last Starlet.
You've been around Hollywood a long time, and matter of fact, Kristen Brando is one of your dear friends who I met through you, and you've known Kristen Brando since he was, what, 15, 16, 14?
Well, Kristen Brando lived across the street from me.
Right.
And one day a rocket came down out of the sky into my backyard. He had built a rocket.
Did he really?
Yeah, and it had started a fire. Anyway, we met, and he's a darling fellow, and I think that he's gonna do just fine. Whatever happened, I know.
How old was he at the time when he
It was an accident, what happened.
Yes, how old was it when he came down?
When I first met him, he was 17 years old.
He was 17, wow.
And we went on a lot of dates, and we had
And played pool.
Yeah, we used to play pool, billiards, and he's a very sensitive, quiet person.
Did you know O.J. Simpson?
No, I did not know
O.J. Simpson? Okay, I just wanted to ask you. Because you know everybody in town, Edie. Everyone.
Yes.
You're a sweet lady.
I've known the most famous of all the actors, and I'm still meeting more.
Yeah, right. And Jacqueline Stallone, have you seen her lately? How's Jacqueline?
I haven't seen Jackie Stallone lately, but last Saturday I was at the convention it's called GlamourCon, and Hugh Hefner was there. And Hugh Hefner arrived, and lots of people came, and he brought his new book that he has for sale, and I autographed my pictures in the book. It's called The Best of Playboy, and I autographed about 300 books.
You were how many times in that book? You've been in that book?
I've been in Playboy magazine about 4 or 5 times, but not recently. I could do a photo layout.
Edie, you look great,
now.
Darling. Thank you, honey. You
It's
sweetie
always
pie.
nice to see you,
Love to see
Skippy.
you, darling. Okay.
Yeah.
Edie Williams here, having fun.
My very
Thank
dear
you.
friend.
Love you. Jon Provost table.
Hey, Skip.
How are you, Jon?
I'm doing fine. Great. It's a pleasure being here.
How do you feel looking at all these people that you haven't seen in a long time?
It's like old homecoming, you know? A lot of old friends here. It's great.
Right. You look great.
Well, thank you.
Boy, look at yourself. I want to see this picture. Look at Jon there. Look at Jon there. When you look at that picture, Jon, and see Lassie.
I can't believe I was ever that young. All right.
That dog, how old was that dog at the time, Lassie? How old was it?
Well, this is the original Lassie's son. Yeah. And then I worked with his son and then his grandson.
How did you get that role?
You know, I was filming a movie for RKO in Japan called Escapade in Japan. They were looking for a boy to play Timmy, and they saw the rushes, the dailies, and said, when he gets back from Japan, we want him. Came back from Japan, met the producer and director. They said, yes, you're Timmy, but you got to meet Lassie, and Lassie's got to like you. So I spent a week living with Red Weatherwax and Lassie at his ranch, and the rest is history.
Loved you and you loved him.
That's it. That's right.
Looking back over your childhood, seeing yourself on film, any regrets?
No, I had a good time. I had a great time. I mean, what other kid got to play with Lassie 7 days, 5 days a week? But
it was work there.
It was work.
How
Yeah.
old were you then?
I started when I was 7, finished when I was 14, and it was work. And that's true. It was hard work, but it was fun. So you enjoyed it.
You had to get up early in the morning.
Had to get up early and got home late, and we did it 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, 9 months out of the year to film 36, 37 episodes.
Where are you originally from?
L.A.
You are?
Yeah.
So you grew up here
I'm
as a child?
born and raised.
So looking around here tonight, seeing all these great actors that you haven't seen in a long time.
Right. Well, I've seen them on the tube.
Yeah, but it must feel very exciting to see.
Oh, it is. No, it's great, yeah.
You have all these wonderful Tommy Kurtz here, all of them.
I know. It's just Stanley and Barry Livingston, Paul Peterson.
So you don't live in the area now, do you?
No, I live up a little north of San Francisco.
What made you move up there?
Actually, I followed a girlfriend from high school, and then we broke up. I stayed up north, and she moved back to L.A.
What's exciting and new in your life right now?
Well, I've got 2 children, that an 8.5-year-old daughter and a 10.5-year-old son. They keep me busy.
Your 10.5-year-old son and your 8.5-year-old daughter. When you see your pictures,
they don't.
What do they
It's old hat to them.
Is it?
My son came home from school one day and said, Bobby wants your autograph. Why does he want that? But he knows. He's actually come with me to a couple of these shows, and he loves it.
You look great. You gonna write a book about a...
You never know. You never know. Might be working on something.
Thank you so
much. All right,
much.
Skip. Thanks. Bye.
Donna Douglas, how are you, sweetheart?
Hello
you look
there.
great.
How are
Look
you?
at that. Look at that hillbilly there.
That's my hillbilly kin there.
Are you really a hillbilly from the South or here?
Yes, I was born outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Really? I was born in Mississippi, Greenville.
Really?
I'm a Southern boy, too. But tell me, getting that row of the Beverly Hills, how did you do that?
They interviewed me along with about 500 other girls.
Right.
Just went up on an open call. And the day I went up for the show that afternoon, I was in an automobile accident, and I was in a hospital for 17 days. And during that time, they interviewed all the girls, narrowed it down to 6, and then they said if I didn't test in 3 days after I got out of the hospital, I'd lose the part. So I was kind of wobbly, but I did test.
Enjoy working with these wonderful people?
Oh, yeah, very special, wonderful people.
They were all very special.
Yes.
What did you learn from them? Especially Buddy Epson.
Very.
What did you learn from Buddy Epson?
Very professional, they really were. They were willing to help you, and they wanted to help you. I think that meant a lot to us. Of course, more of my scenes were with Buddy.
Right.
So I love, he was always had a special place in my heart, yeah.
You grew up here in Hollywood, didn't you, actually? No, you came out here quite young.
Yeah, well, the Hillbillies was my first. I'd done a few little things before that came out under contract. And then
You know, Hillbillies is shown all over the globe.
Oh, yeah. Some people from Spain were here today, and they just told me, they said that they got the Beverly Hillbillies there. Of course, I went to Japan, and they call it Jajauma there, but I met the people that did it.
You sing, young lady. You do gospel. You do
country and gospel. Country yeah, country and gospel. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Tell me about country gospel.
Well,
you're a wonderful singer.
I speak a lot at churches and youth groups too, and share a lot, work a lot with young people.
Like sharing what with young people? Like
positive, very positive things, and just. Mainly encouraging them to really be able to do something with their life, how special their life is, and
we're losing the innocence of Hollywood here, aren't we, today?
Yeah. So the simplicity, so much of simplicity is gone.
Yeah, we're just losing it. Look at this. This was innocence. This was so simple.
Such a joy. Yeah.
It was totally fun.
Yeah. I know I was thrilled when I got the part. Paul Henning said, "Do you think you could do this part?" And I just looked at him and shook my head. I was so thrilled, because...
You seem like you're having a good time right now.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Life's good.
Thank you.
I travel a lot and work a lot, as I said.
How about a book?
Oh, they got so many books. Buddy, has come out with a new book. He's got a wonderful book. But, you look at...
But it's coming from Jonna. It's coming from you. It's coming from what you've experienced among these wonderful people that you work with.
Yeah.
You must, because you had some hard times too,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like, I always think, I look at Buddy's book, and it's like he's got so much to talk about as far as a career goes, and so.
Thank you, Donna. You're wonderful.
It's been a joy. God bless. Bye-bye.
I am at Russell Johnson's table. Hello, how are you, Professor? How are you, Professor?
I'm delighted to meet you again, Skip.
Ever since I was a kid, as a comedian, I was a comic for many years working on the road, and everyone said I looked just like this guy.
Yeah?
I did when I was young,
like Gilligan.
Working with him, Gilligan.
Yeah.
Tell me, what kind of guy was he, really?
Oh, he's a terrific guy. I'll tell you what. Personally, he's as different from being Gilligan as you can imagine. He's a quiet, studious, intelligent man. He was a teacher before he became an actor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And a very nice man.
Where are you from originally?
Originally from Pennsylvania.
How did you get the role as professor on this Gilligan Island?
Well, I auditioned for it and tested for it after it came back to me 3 times. The first 2 times I turned it down because I was looking for something else that didn't happen. And eventually they cast the show, and then CBS wanted it recast.
Right.
So they recast the professor and the 2 girls, and I was the recasting.
Looking back, you know how many places in the world this Gilligan Island is shown, how many languages? Your voice is in different languages all over the world.
It's
Japan,
amazing.
Everywhere.
It's amazing.
I was in Taiwan, and I'm listening to Gilligan Island and Taipei. I'm saying, oh, look at that voice in Chinese.
Isn't that amazing?
Your voice was in Chinese.
Isn't that astounding? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that when you hear those voices?
Well, I think it's wonderful that the show is playing all over the world. And it has for 30 years. This show's never been off the air.
So what's exciting right now in your life?
Well, I live up on Bainbridge Island near Seattle. I've been up there 6 years. I do a lot of voiceover work, radio and television commercials, and I enjoy that very much.
They don't like Californians to move up there, do they?
Well, yeah, they keep talking about that, but we're there.
You look great.
Well,
a book? How about a book? Anything coming up in a book?
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. They can get this right now, Russell, right? With Stephen Cox. Who wrote this?
With Steve Cox,
Yes, who is he?
Steve has written books about...
no, the name is familiar.
Beverly Hillbillies. He wrote one on Johnny Carson, the only authorized book on Carson. Stephen is a guy with a track record in this genre.
You look great. Thank you so very much.
Listen, Skip, thank you. Always enjoyed your work. Okay.
Livingston and Barry. Barry Livingston, how are you? Talking off camera, but that's okay with your wife. Is that your wife?
No, a very pretty lady, though. Just asked me a question, and I thought I'd answer.
Barry, how did you get the role, you 2 guys? You're real brothers, right?
How did we get the role of us 2 guys? Our parents were involved in that role.
No, what happened?
How did I get the part? I was already acting. I'd been doing the Ozzie and Harriet show.
He knew me. That's how he got the part.
He introduced me to the producers, and nepotism was involved.
So tell me, where are you from originally?
Los Angeles, born in LA.
Yeah. Your parents were in the business?
Not really, no. I mean, they had been in Baltimore. They had vaudeville theaters that they'd owned.
So they were in business.
But they got film.
Ditto, same thing. I was at a swim school in Hollywood, and an agent there discovered me, sent me out on Ozzie and Harriet, and I got the part. I was an extra. He gave me a line and kept calling me back. And
working with those 2 wonderful people.
Which one? Ozzie and Harriet. Ozzie was great guy. Yeah. Same with Harriet.
Growing up here in Hollywood, how do you feel about this as a child actor? Did you have any regrets looking back now? Would you like to have done something else?
Well, I guess we were a couple of the fortunate few that we had a pretty good experience being on My 3 Sons. So
you have no regrets. You have not.
No regrets. No dirt to tell. Yeah, we had a pretty good time.
You're married?
No, I'm not married.
How about you? What's happening with you in your life now?
Well, I'm still acting. Actually, I'm doing
Barry, every time I see this picture of you, I just can't believe it's you.
Well, believe me, I have the same reaction. No, I'm actually doing a recurring role in Lois and Clark this year, and just did a part in the O.J. Simpson film for Fox, and primarily just acting.
In the O.J. Simpson film?
Yes, I am.
Really? How do you feel about the trial?
How do I feel about?
Yeah, what's happening? Does it affect your working in the film? You know?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not. The film tries not to comment on what's happened to him recently.
Not discussing it at all.
Not really. I mean, I think they're trying to be as actors just portray him as humanly as they can with flaws and it's obviously it's kind of difficult.
That was about the 4th or 5th year of the show.
Is it really?
Probably about the first year he was the son.
Yeah, I think I'd
working with McMurray.
Yeah, Fred McMurray.
I loved his wife, June Haver. Working with him, what a great guy. Huh?
Yeah, he was a real star, of the first magnitude. He was a legend, when we came to him in My 3 Sons. He was 30, 40 years. He'd been a major film star. Television was a new thing for him, really.
Did he give you any advice?
Save your money. Actually, never spend your money. That was probably his advice.
How about an advice? Any advice on the set?
No, I mean, the advice would be you're just watching, a consummate actor working, and you just pick up.
Yeah, I think just being in his presence and you just pick it up by osmosis. You're just around him and timing and, and just, his caring about how good the show could be and rewriting and little things like that.
We have good writers today now, a few good writers, but our Three Sons was a good, well-written show.
That was a different type of show in another era, I think.
Another era, era of innocence. And
Yeah.
that's what we're missing today.
It's hard to go back. You can't go back. It's a totally different world.
Absolutely. Nice talking to you both.
Thank you.
Very charming.
Bye.
Thank you.
So much.
Hello. Here I am at the table. Next to Edie Williams is Gordon Scott. Gordon Scott, how are you? How are you, Gordon?
I'm fine, thanks,
Is Edie
man.
Williams making you nervous?
Edie makes me nervous a lot.
What's happening with Gordon Scott? Have you been to Rome lately, or?
No, the last time I was in Rome was in '71.
Really?
I was there for 10 years.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I saw you there.
Yeah.
Years and years ago. Tell me about living in Rome. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, we were there at just the right time, too, because there were a lot of other Americans there at the time.
Right.
And everybody knew each other. We had a great time, and, 10 years of it.
Right. 10 years of it. What's that lady, that photographer, Roth? Roth was there at the time you were there. Roth?
No.
Roth and,
You were there.
I was there too, yes.
I don't know. I don't remember her.
But you were there during the days of Cleopatra in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about Gordon Scott. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Oregon. Portland, yeah.
How did you become a bodybuilder, or were you a bodybuilder?
Oh, yeah, not really, but I was always in athletics a lot, and during the process of working out for the athletics, something happened. Something blew me up somewhere.
And how did you become Tarzan? What happened there?
I was at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, and I had the health club and the swimming pool, and I was working out on the 3-meter board one morning, and an agent saw me and wanted me to come down and meet Saul Lesser, who was the head of the Tarzan thing then. And I did the following Wednesday. We tested on, I think, Friday, and they saw the film that night, and they signed me Saturday.
Acting-wise, did you ever study at all?
No, I was just a natural, wonderful actor.
Okay. What was the first Tarzan?
Tarzan's Hidden Jungle.
And who was in that?
Vera Miles, Peter Van Eyck, and I later married her.
I know.
Yeah,
Yes. Tell me about
she was a good.
And living with that great actress, Vera Miles.
Well, I lived with her after we got married. I'm of the old school. We had some great dates.
Those pictures. Oh, Edie Williams, you're next to Tarzan over here, Gordon Scott. This is the female.
Edie Williams is a beauty.
If I had my choice of anyone to sit next to, I would pick him.
Got it,
Because he's all man. He's all man.
He really is.
Oh, she's lovely. She lies beautifully.
Nice talking to you. What's exciting right now in your life?
Right at this moment, me.
You got a great sense of humor. No, what are you doing right now?
We're going to do a film in Canada in November, and I'm looking forward to that.
About a book.
Yeah, I've got 900 pages that have to be sorted out by this fellow is great. He's in New York right now. He'll be out in October, and he's going to help me discard I've overwritten the book. But
how many Tarzans have it been, Gordon?
Well, I was the 11th.
You're the 11th?
And I think there were 6 or 7 after me.
It's the 11th Tarzan, darling. Did you meet any other Tarzans in your lifetime?
Yes, I've met a couple. I think that all men are Tarzans. I bring out
good girl.
the masculine side of them.
Certainly do. Thank you, Edie Williams. Thank you, Gordon. Bye. Here I am at the Beverly Garland Hotel, and here is the Hollywood Collectors show today. And so here we are. We're going to go inside and interview a few celebs inside. We'll just get in personal with them, okay? Let's go inside. Thank you.
Welcome to Skippy Lowe Looks at Hollywood. Our guests today are Broadway star Jessica James and singer and comedian Finus Henderson. And now, here's your host and man of the half hour, Skippy Lowe.
God, Broadway.
Yes.
Oh, I want to go back. Why come here and you were in New York City? That's where I want to go. Please.
Really?
Why?
Well, I did Broadway for 10 years, actually only 3 shows for 10 years, which was Gemini for about 5 years on Broadway.
Gemini.
With Kathleen Turner, Sigourney Weaver, Bob Picardo, and Andy Salvo. And I did that for a long time. Had a good time. Had a great time. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. The reason why it was fun is because it was a very informative show that people could have a chance to see themselves and their emotional reactions. And half the time, people were running up the aisles, and the other half, they brought other people. So that was great fun to do.
Kathleen Turner. Tell me quickly. I love
Kathleen,
it. Great actress.
Kathleen is fabulous.
Isn't
First
she?
time I looked at her, I thought, my God, how come, if that girl's a movie star, how come everybody didn't see? But I guess at that time she wasn't ready to let herself have it, but she certainly has now.
42nd Street.
Yeah, but before that, we had Little Me, Neil Simon's Little Me.
Little Me.
With Jimmy Coco, you know.
Oh, bless his heart.
Right. And
what
Victor
a
Garber.
What
and
a
I
wonderful
played Bill.
James. Listen, let's not run James Coco. He's so.
We don't want to run past him, do we?
No, I love him. I think he was a great talent.
He was a great guy.
What do you really remember of James Coco first? I mean,
well, I fell in love with him for one. I mean, I just fell madly in love with him.
Great
I had to put myself through that whole thing during rehearsal, you know, or it just wouldn't work for me. I was in love with him. Yeah,
that was a good show.
He was a generous, wonderful man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had wonderful director and you know, Peter Gennaro and that whole bunch, you know, and Neil running around. Did Tony Walton with his black Valentine around the stage. And then I did 42nd Street for David Merrick. And I did that for 2.5 years.
Difficult. Everyone says difficult, David Merrick.
David's great.
Is
I
he?
like difficult people.
I do too.
I prefer
I
a
do
difficult
too.
person.
I do
You
too.
know where they're at. I mean, everyone who pretends to be so sweet all the time
They
is
want it
very boring.
Am I right, Jessica? They want it right. They say Barbara Streisand, difficult.
Yeah.
But she wants it right.
Well, you see, you're called difficult if you're an individual nowadays. I mean, everybody's so pressed down, and you know, everybody's become a pouch of tobacco all the same. But if you want something and you know what you want and you're going to get it, you're going to be called difficult. So the heck with those people who call you difficult anyway. They're boring.
Jessica James.
What?
Auntie Mame you remind me of. I don't know why. I look at you, you remind me of Auntie Mame coming to Hollywood, bringing theater to Hollywood. I understand you're going to be doing something here.
Yes, I'm going to do a show called, we've titled Hollywood's Broadway. It's a brand new, yes, and we're going to try and to bring the theater in Los Angeles. So I'm going to host it and also co-produce it with Keith Christman, our wonderful Keith Christmas. And I'm going to try to bring, I was born in Los Angeles, and I know Los Angeles. I mean, it's very spread out, right? This we know. But the theater district needs to be brought together so that there's a community here.
Yes.
And so
which it
that
doesn't have.
That's right. And
That's
it doesn't have enough self-respect.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can do that. You know, and we'll review shows and we'll be seeing the shows and
what credentials? You have the right credentials to do this. These critics here in Hollywood, they don't have it to do that.
Well, I don't know
I'm so happy
too
they're
many.
getting people like Jessica James to do that.
Yes, and
who
I
has the
also
right.
write, so that does help me to really see the makings or the potential of a very good play at least, or maybe what's wrong with it to help the people.
There's a lot of good theater here in LA.
Yes, there is. There's a very lot of good theater here in Los Angeles and also in the Valley. There's a lot of good theater, but the problem is that it's all just sort of petit pois and dilettante at this moment, and we'll fix that. We'll see what we can do about that.
Stand-up comedian you were.
Yes, I was.
A nightclub stand-up comic.
Yes, I was.
Well,
Oh, my.
was it fun?
It was a terrific amount of fun, but I became very frightened when they told me I was going to have to do that for the rest of my life. Because when I did stand-up comedy, which was put into The Last Laugh, the book, there are really only 4 of us in this country that did it. So we all know that was Phyllis and Lily and Elaine and myself. And
the Blue Angel, the Bonsoir. Did you do the Bonsoir?
No, I did do the Bonsoir. I did the Versailles. And I did a lot. Well, I played in Las Vegas. I was a stand-up comedian in Las Vegas for about 8 years.
Stand-up comedian in Las Vegas?
Yes, and I had a musical group called Jesse and the James Boys. This sounds like a confessional day.
I love it. You know who's next to you? We have one of America's young, bright impressionists, comedians, and his name is Finest Henderson. How are you, Finest?
I'm great. And what a pleasure to be with such a woman with such history and everything.
Yes.
I think we need to get together, at least give me the opportunity to learn some things from you.
Finest Henderson at Entertainment Tonight just did a segment on Finest Henderson and honored him, the youngest bright talent in America today we have. Impressionist, you were wonderful.
Who was that guy who wrote that? That's
Entertainment
nice.
Tonight. It was a great.
Was
I
you
love
you
that
talking
segment.
It was a wonderful segment. It was truly
Finest
great.
when first. Where are you originally from? Chicago.
Originally from Chicago, Skippy, and of course, you know, when I left Chicago, I came out here and was very fortunate to find a place where a man would give the opportunity to young performers a chance to perform, and that person sits before me, and that's you.
Oh, that's my old showcase I had at the Hyatt. I had a showcase at the Hyatt on Sunset years ago when I first came back from the Far East. I didn't know what to do when I got back, and
But you always
I
think
started.
of something, don't you?
He's always thinking of something.
I've only been in town a year and a half. I'm sorry I missed that, you know.
Oh, this is a long time ago, and this is years ago. Finest, yes, he performed for me, and then he went to the Comedy Store and
Went to the
worked.
Comedy Store and worked.
Remember Yakov Smirnoff? He started with us too. Yakov Smirnoff, the Russian comedian.
Right.
He was wonderful. We had a lot of great talent. Loretta Holloway.
A lot of great. Yeah,
Lot of
Loretta. I see
great-
Loretta in Vegas
you do?
a lot.
You're working Vegas a lot.
Well, I've been in Vegas for like the last 3 years at the Dunes Hotel.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Isn't it?
I played the Dunes for 2.5 years in the Viva la Girls. What a great hotel that
That
was.
is a great hotel.
In the what is it? The what was the room?
Who knows?
It's up on the roof. I think you're one you're talking about.
No,
on the
mine
roof.
was-
Yours
The main-
down.
the main
main
room.
room.
The main room.
Tell me,
casino.
Finest.
Yes.
Your impressions.
The Casino Theater. Yes.
Darling, wonderful impressions. Does he? do?
Really?
Yes. Love to see some of those voices. Love to hear.
Those voices, I love them. You know, most of the voices by way of George Kirby, which is a very dear, close. I just title him Uncle because.
Did he encourage Finest Henderson?
Through osmosis and just being young and being exposed to the likes of him and Sammy Davis and Nipsey Russell, Godfrey Cambridge, all these people.
Good people.
You know, that my father, as a manager and a song and dance man, just if your family's in the business, it's pretty hard not to be exposed.
Father in the business.
Yeah.
Name was?
It's the same as mine, Finest Henderson Jr.
Junior.
Yeah.
Dance, song?
Song and dance man.
Around Chicago area, was he Finest?
Chicago area.
You know, I
yes.
started in Chicago as in a strip joint on Clark Street years and years
Before
ago.
my
I was on-
time.
Yes, much. I was an MC comedian, and I
That's
worked
where
a club
everybody's-
called the Silver Frolics by the bridge there. I was an MC comic, and I was like 19, 20 years old, and I got into it as a comedian. It was fun. I learned it, and that's where I met Shecky Green. He's from
Yes,
Chicago.
yes.
And then I got an agent there, and I was working on the road, and then it was fun there. Chicago's a good old town.
Well, you have the energy. That's
Tell
what
me
was-
about Finest Henderson in Chicago, growing up in Chicago.
Chicago. Well, I had a band in Chicago. As a child growing up, it was crazy because being exposed to show business and then to go to school, it was two different worlds, and there were not the special teachings or the guidance of teachers who had no understanding of a child of my exposure. You know,
Yes.
when they were dealing with other kids, they would just, you know, you really need to have special teachers, I think, when you get a chance to see different things.
What encouraged Jessica James to get in the business?
Well, actually, I was discouraged. My father was one of the, I was named after Jesse L. Lasky. My father was one of the backers of the Man with Jesse L. Lasky and Cecil B. DeMille, and I'm sure we're forgetting somebody else.
Yes, you are. You're forgetting
Mr.
your
Goldfish. I mean,
you are
Goldwyn.
forgetting your aunt.
Oh,
Your
my aunt.
You
Well,
know
my-
who her aunt is? Go ahead.
My aunt was Marie Dressler.
Marie. Aha.
Oh, what a wonderful,
Wonderful,
what
yeah.
facial things this
And her
woman-
mother
oh,
was in
great.
Ziegfeld.
My mother was a pony in the Ziegfeld Follies.
Follies?
A pony
I'll
is
tell you
a
what a
little
girl.
tiny little girl.
So I have two people that grew up in the business.
Yes, but I
Yeah,
wasn't.
but she's, I mean, her exposure.
I was
God, what
discouraged.
You were.
Oh,
so
my.
was I. So
I was almost locked in my room not to be in to be in the theater.
So how
at all.
did you get out of that room?
I
Jessica?
lied. I lied a lot. I just got out and then, you know, finally got caught. I was, I think, one of the first, I was a chorus girl, little chorus girl in San Carlos Opera Company.
Okay.
Now that made my mother happy. But everybody was so much taller than I was, and all I could see were lots of big bellies and lots of bosoms, you know. So I was, you know, this short little person looking up and seeing nothing but all that, you know. So then I decided to be a jazz singer from an opera singer.
Opera singer.
Right,
to
and
jazz.
Walter Gross brought me into the whole thing. Walter Gross, who wrote Tenderly, may
Yes.
he rest in peace. What a character he was. And I just fibbed, because I guess when you want something and you can't get permission,
Right.
and you come from a sort of an ACA house, sort of, you do what you need to do. You know, the spirit inside of you just says, go ahead and do it anyway, pay the price afterwards. I paid the price.
He had a record from Motown a few years ago. Very big hit.
Yeah,
right?
I had
What
a.
was
It was called Skip to My Lou. It was a big. It was a big. I don't know. Big for me. It was big. Anything
Yes.
that I got on records, I was happy to have it.
It was good.
It was on the. Went to about 58 with a bullet, and my problem is what a lot of people are having problems with right now is that the company would not allocate monies to promote it. You know, that's with anything. Not you can have great product, the greatest star in the world, but no one is there to promote and let the world know how wonderful you are.
You seem happy now.
I'm very happy because I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. Like you, Jessica, you've had the
still learning. That's
I'm still learning.
Wonderful.
You know, this listening to what you're saying about Jessica, her exposures and everything like that. I've had similar where like you have to almost do everything. I'm one that is doing everything that they say the old school was about, where you had to be a little bit of everything. You had to dance, you had to sing, you had to be a comedian. This woman has done all of the things, and it can make you no more than great as a performer on stage because you have so many things to borrow from.
Yes, yes.
And I've never seen her perform, but I can imagine.
Finest.
That,
favorite character. Who is your favorite character? He does so many characters. Who is
I
your
don't
favorite?
know. I like a lot of the old guys. I like
Like who?
I like young Henry Fonda. I like Ronald
My
Coleman.
ex-husband used to do that. Adam Keefe used to do
Adam
this.
Keith is a very good impressionist.
Very good
Yes.
impressionist.
Yes.
In fact, I think Robin Williams said one time that he was his favorite comedian.
Really?
Adam, yeah. He used to do the Henry Fonda and...
From the Grapes of Wrath or something like that.
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire?
Yeah.
Impression of Fred, as a dancer or
No,
a talker?
the whole thing.
That would be something.
Jessica James.
I didn't mean to take away from you, though.
No problem.
Oh, no. Jessica James.
Yes, darling.
You wrote a thing you're going to produce, or you're going to take it to Broadway, you're going to do it here. It's about Mae West. Tell me about
I've written
that.
a play called Saint May.
Saint May.
Saint May, honey.
Ooh.
And it's about Mae West. And it's very funny. It's not a, it's not a deep, one of these,
Bad girl.
It's about the bad girl of Broadway. I played the bad girl of Broadway.
Yes, you did. You
and
know it,
Gemini,
yes.
I was termed the bad girl of Broadway. Edith Piaf, the play Piaf, could not have been done if Gemini hadn't been done. I was called the bad girl of Broadway. Bunny had a bad mouth.
Yeah.
Bad mouth, they say. But anyway, I've written this play about her, and I was going to do it in New York, but when I decided to come here, because I think I OD'd on Broadway, same word, same script, same clothes, same wig, that whole thing. Oh, give me a break, darling.
Darling.
So I decided to come here and be a movie star.
Tallulah Bankhead. Tell me.
Oh, what do you want, darling?
Darling, tell me about Tallulah, darling.
Well, what do you want to know? Do you know that Ted Hook is out of business?
You knew her very well, didn't you?
Well, no, I didn't know her at all, actually.
Didn't you really?
No, I didn't know Tallulah.
Oh, I loved her. I think
There's
she was-
the end of that.
Yeah, right.
But I did know Noel Coward.
You did?
Oh, yes. Noel Coward, as a matter of fact, was
Gotcha.
one of the many people that, in New York, he discovered it was really something.
He is responsible for you.
He really is. He really is. Mr. Coward was responsible for my New York career, the beginning of my New York career. He really was. Al Siegel, who discovered Ethel Merman, discovered, in quotes, me. And so actually Al brought Mr. John C. Wilson into John C. Wilson, who directed all the Charlotte's Revues, and he directed everything practically that Noel Coward did, early on, and Gertrude Lawrence. And he brought Mr. Coward in to hear me sing, and that's how the whole thing started.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it really was. I had no idea who he was. I
just finished a movie with Rob Lowe, played Rob Lowe's mother.
Yes. Absolutely insane mother. I seem to be fortunate to get parts to play mothers of great guys. I played Steve Guttenberg's moms in Diner, and I played that wonderful Richie Gere. Although Steve Guttenberg's very handsome too. Oh dear, oh dear. And
but
now Rob Lowe,
Peter Bogdanovich directed that.
I love
him.
My love, my king boss, Peter Bogdanovich.
He came to my birthday party with Orson Welles years and years
Did he?
ago, and he did a picture with Orson, and I just, it was my birthday gift. It was wonderful.
I'm
that
crazy
was, yeah.
about Peter Bogdanovich.
I am too. He's
I
a
love
marvelous.
him very,
The
very
name
much.
itself is so musical.
He's a director for an actor. An actor, because he really, it's almost like he said, you know, you can do one take, and he says, what's the matter? Are you uncomfortable with this? And you say, yes, I am. Or you say it before the take, you know, and he said, well, what do you think you should say there? And then you do. You say your own words almost, you know, so you're very comfortable. I was very comfortable. This picture, Illegally Yours, is in the style of Bringing Up Baby. It's in the style of Howard Hawks' direction. And you know, Peter is such a connoisseur.
When is it coming out?
At the end of June, I
Is
believe.
it?
Yeah.
Nice. Acting? Come on. You want to. You got to. Young, bright, talent, comedian,
of course,
singer.
acting, no question about it. I'm writing a movie now called Agent Brown, where it's something like where I play a secret agent like a James Bond.
Yes.
And it's just like all the, it's like Casino Royale, just silly, crazy things. And
Are you studying acting at all?
I've studied acting and...
You keep your tools sharp. Am I right, Jessica?
Always. You can
to keep
never
that
stop.
sharp when you're not working on it.
It's very important.
You can never stop.
Keeps your spirits
Who are you
up.
studying with, Finest?
I've had different coaches, you know, and I still try different things out. But I learned for a certain amount of time, and then I like to apply them in different avenues on stage. To me, the greatest teacher in the world is to be on stage. You know, I know I'm much younger.
The Comedy Store.
But to me, I've learned the most from being on stage.
For my young people out there, the Comedy Store. Tell me about it.
The Comedy
When they
Store,
come to Hollywood.
Comedy Store is
comedians.
as wonderful as people having an opportunity to have some place to show their talent.
Right.
I came there on an audition night and just kept coming, even nights when I didn't, even when I didn't think I was wonderful or the audience, and I just kept working, and God.
And there are nights that we are not.
You want to press the disappearing button, but God's been good to me. I've worked. I've been fortunate to have good people around me, and now things are starting to come together. You know, the Vegas, the going on the road, New York with Rodney Dangerfield at Resorts International next week.
You work with Richard Pryor, did you?
Richard Pryor was a very helpful person to me.
In your life?
That's how I got to Motown, because through the Comedy Store. He saw me because I would sing at night. See, I'm a singer first, and they saw me. He would listen to me sing, and he wanted to help me, and he'd let me go on as his opening act. And from there, I met.
You're such a darling person.
That's nice.
Your
yes, he is.
comes right through.
It's got a lovely. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like this guy.
This audience
very
must
talented.
adore you.
Very talented. You should see him do Sammy Davis. He's
shall.
wonderful. He's so just a little something.
Something for us.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone, Skippy, and it's, you know, I've seen you. You've done so many things, and it's just a pleasure.
Sammy kills me.
Sammy's a darling too.
Does Sammy love your impressions?
I don't know if Sammy's seen me.
He has never seen you?
I always go backstage when I'm in Vegas to see him, but he's never available to come see me, you know.
I had Charles Pierce on my show, and he does a marvelous impression of Betty Davis for years and years. And I've asked Charles, has Betty ever seen? He says, Betty's never seen him. Never.
Well, it has to be fixed up between them. They have to get together.
Same as Sammy. I think Sammy Finest. Same thing.
I mean, I was doing Sammy. I don't know how long Billy Crystal was doing, but I had been doing Sammy, and I was known, you know, to everything. And when Billy came, everybody was like, you know, well, he broke it out there first. You know, not that no one has done it before, but he's just special because I've known him since a child, and my father was vice president of Sammy Davis Enterprise, so it was more of something close than just someone that I had no knowledge of. Single and soon to be married to a very wonderful Irish girl.
How nice.
Fine girl, if I've ever met one
Congratulations.
myself now.
So you'll be singing Danny Boy, huh? Danny Boy. That is a London Air number.
She's a wonderful girl, and I'm very happy to...
What's her name?
Her name is Mary.
Is she in the business?
She
Mary, how appropriate.
Mary, yes.
Well.
She's in the business. She wants to become a news commentator, if not like a Mary Hartman or something, you know, on, you know, the interviewer, and she can do it all.
Jessica James, I'm so happy that you come to Hollywood and you're going to have your own television show, and you're going to go out there and get to those little theaters and talk to these wonderful actors and really be a right critic for them. Not just a critic.
I think it'll work
it's
out.
something to
learn from.
To learn, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's
really.
not. I hate these men that give bad reviews. And
Well, they're
good
trying to make
reviews and
stars out of themselves.
Thumbs up and
That's not
thumbs
the thing
down.
to
I
do,
mean,
you know.
sit on them. Like what's his name said. I love what he said. Sit on
and
Neil Simon.
twirl, yes.
Yeah, right. I love it. I mean, these people. What gives them the credentials? What are they? Who?
Well,
where
desire
they
is
been
a
around?
credential. I mean, desire, you want to do something, you do it. That's it. They think they can do it, so they've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's at, isn't it? You think you can do something, and it's already done.
You know, I've been in show business 40 years, all over the world. You know, and you have too. And who knows more than we do? I mean,
that's like with
whatever,
anything.
You know,
yeah,
you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love these people that do this.
Well, how many folks are actually critics that do have, you know, the history
I'll
of
never
show business?
criticize a show ever.
You know,
I'm
they
not,
don't-
I'm not equipped to do that. That's none of my business to do it.
But you're an awfully cute guy, I can tell you. Yes,
thank
you
you.
are. And
You're
thank you very much
You're
for
very
having
sweet.
me.
Tell me,
On the show,
looking
that is.
back over your career,
Mm-hmm.
is there something that you left out, son, that
Well,
you would like to do?
They're really no. I think I'm doing fine. I would like to do my show. I would
Uh-huh.
like to do St. May. I'd like
Uh-huh.
to do it in Los Angeles because it basically is a play about
Who
Hollywood.
do you have in mind?
For the star?
Yeah,
Jessica James.
Jessica, I know that, but who's? I knew you were going to say that, Jessica. I know, of course. Who else, Jessica? In the is there a good meaty part for a man in there?
Yes, there is. There's a wonderful part for a man in there.
Right there.
A big tall man.
Oh,
a big tall man. Yes, there's a wonderful part.
You're an astrologer.
Yes,
you had
I
an
am.
astrology show in New
I've
York.
said it at last out loud.
No, you're an astrology.
I did. I had a show on NBC in New York that was given to me just like that. I didn't really seek it out.
Everybody's into it nowadays.
Well, yes.
Since the Reagan,
into it.
no,
I've
they
been
have,
into it.
but now the Reagan has, you know, they're
Oh,
coming
but
out
we all
with it.
know that Reagan always went to an astrologer, and may he
course.
rest in peace. He just died on Saturday, Carol Reiter. He went to
He
Carol
died.
for
He
years.
died.
In fact, it's in it's in Ronald Reagan's book that
He just died Saturday.
yes, Carol just passed away.
Well, you know, a lot of us die and don't know it anyway. So
I had him on my
Right.
show.
Just keep breathing.
Where do
I
we go
had
for the
Carol,
earthquake
my
is where I want to
writer,
go.
on my show many, many times. He was absolutely
Yeah,
a
he was
darling
great
man.
and adorable.
And I used to
Yeah.
go to his wonderful parties all the time.
Yes,
he
of
was
Von Curzon.
wonderful.
But
Yes.
I'll tell you, I personally, the reason why I still do astrology is because astrology is such a neurotic kind of thing. The most people who are astrologers are absolutely not, aside from Carol and Frisco Heibrecht.
Yes.
They're very neurotic, and if they're in a bad mood, they tell you something that pertains to their bad mood.
Yes.
What I like astrology, especially when you read it right out of the book, and you tell people what's the matter with them from their horoscope and how they can grow and improve themselves, because this is a college life, you know. Isn't
That's
it?
what it's all about, really.
Yes,
how
that's
to
what
improve.
Emerson
yeah.
said. So there it
Geminis.
is.
I'm a Gemini.
Yes,
What's
I
happening
know.
for Geminis
Oh,
nowadays?
you
How to
Geminis
bear-
are out of the you're out of the dark.
Are we?
Yes.
Coming
you are.
out. Coming.
Yes, you're out of the red, going into the black. Finally, it's been 2.5 years. Actually, it's been 7, because you had Uranus opposing your sign, and then of course for 2.5 years you had Saturn opposing your sign, and it was difficult. And now it's over. Tra-la, tra-la again, darling.
Finest? What's month?
I'm July 7th.
You're Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer.
He's a moon
What's
child.
moon
With a Capricorn
child?
moon, Leo
Very good.
rising.
Oh.
What's
Leo
happening
rising,
there?
Capricorn
What's
moon.
happening there?
Leo rising is always a wonderful rising sign. I mean, that's the people
Like
that.
Leo's rising now. No,
men,
rising
men Leo rising, isn't it? Mostly men better than women.
Well, I don't know. Leo is a difficult sign for women in the first place.
That's what I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just difficult, you know. But you're in good shape, you know. The Capricorn moon. Well, you're going to have Saturn on your moon pretty soon. Oh my goodness! I wonder what's going to happen. Let's see. If you have Leo there, and then over there you have Aquarius, and over there Capricorn. Oh, so you have a moon in the 6th house. Do you know that? Oh, you have Saturn in the 6th house. Things are going to be paying off, honey.
So,
yeah.
Jessica, what's happening with the politics? You know, what's happening? Who do you think is going to be president?
Well, you know,
Who do you think
I'm
is
sorry
Democrats
to say
or
this. Oh, I do
Jesse
hope.
Jackson.
No.
Well,
No.
let's see.
Maybe Vice. What do you think?
Well, I
Bush?
know that
You think
Bush
Bush
is
is-
a Pisces, and Jupiter's out of Pisces, so there could, you know. And I know that Jesse Jackson, JJ himself,
Yeah.
is a Libra.
Is he a
But you know,
Libra?
I don't know what Dukakis is. I should have been prepared for this question,
That's
but
okay.
I wasn't. But I don't think it's the man. I don't think the people are going to vote for the man. I guess I'm projecting now.
Yes.
What I'm saying is I think people are going to vote for the party this time.
I see.
They're going to want a little bit of change here and there. Certainly the women are.
Jesse Jackson, a Libra, that's balancing people. You know, they
Yes.
balance people.
Yes.
They're good for me because I'm a Gemini
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm
It's another
crazy.
air sign,
And it's
other
good. They
sign.
balance people.
Yes, they
so
do.
Jesse Jackson is good then because he balances.
Yes,
Good
and
balancer.
yes, I like the sign of Libra a lot. We'll just
They're
have
very-
to see how. I don't know the day, so we have to see how that Saturn is affecting his sign because Saturn is
I
squaring
would go
Libra.
for Jesse. Either Jesse become president or the people from outer space show up. Something needs to happen on this planet soon. But let me ask you one question.
I'll be glad to see
Go ahead.
change.
Do you have any idea of the earthquake?
Oh, that's
Ah,
just.
this is-
want to know
I
because
have
there's something to say.
Yeah,
on
go
this.
ahead.
I want to
The
tell you.
earthquake is.
Do you know that on this planet? I'm sorry, Skippy. I'm just talking so much, but I do want to say this. Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
Okay. You know, people for thousands of years.
Nostradamus.
Well, Nostradamus, they
Nostradamus.
say he lived. Maybe he didn't. I mean, why are we taking the advice of someone we're not even sure was alive ever? P.S. Nobody knows how the Earth was created, and so what makes these little egomaniacs on this planet at this time think that they can destroy
Right.
it, or that they even can say when it's going to end? I mean, people only hope they have that power, but they don't.
It's like theater critics. They don't
Exactly.
want to have it.
It's what do you mean by that? Anyway,
Are you sure, John? This is the shade. I mean,
no, I don't live in fear like that. I would
You don't?
not live in fear.
But people are moving out of here in California.
Well,
They're
goodbye
moving
to
for the
them. Some
month.
bless us by coming and some bless us
They're
by
all
going.
I've been here 8 years, and I felt one that last big one was the first time, and I ran out with my pistol and my flashlight. I don't know. I'm telling you, it is a scary
You
thing.
wanted to see who you were shooting?
Well,
Was
I
that
just
it?
figured hell was going to break loose, and I was going to be protecting my loved one.
Finest Henderson.
Yes, sir.
You live in California now?
I love California.
You love California?
From Chicago, I love the palm trees, the everything about California show business.
You do all your own writing and
I
your own
write
material,
and
everything?
I listen to other people to learn. I think that's been my best teacher is to watch and to learn because I'm lazy basically, but I like to watch and learn. And my best thing is women have taught me mostly everything from my mother to every woman that I've encountered. Maybe not directly, but they have been my best help. In teaching me and connecting me up with things. I mean, my manager's a woman. I don't know if it works on the other end for women that men.
Well, sign cancer is very drawn to women.
Well, they are?
Oh, yes. Moon children.
I see.
Moon. Yes.
Mitzi
Women.
Shore, she's a
I see.
wonderful woman, and
She's been behind your career a lot, hasn't she?
Mitzi
has been very...
has been wonderful. In fact, we have the 15th anniversary at the
Coming up.
Amphitheater, which NBC is going to do, and I'm a part of that, and I'm very happy to be a
Very
part of
nice.
that. And you know, it's just a lot of things
Finest,
happening.
I'm very
like you
happy
said.
for your career. I really am.
Skip,
because
I'm happy to
he
do the
came
show.
from Chicago
Thank
and
you.
came and started at my showcase, and now he's very successful, and I'm very happy for
Well,
that.
it's good
I'm
to
very-
see long-term friends.
Yes.
I love long-term friendships.
Yeah, he's a lovely man, and
Well, maybe I can be
Jessica
your
James,
friend.
I'm very happy
Oh,
for.
man, be your friend.
Jessica James, I'm so
Yes,
happy
baby.
for you being in Hollywood and getting your television show together and
And all my movies.
your movies,
Yeah.
not television. You've done a lot of TV here in Hollywood, haven't
Yeah, well, no. Actually, I
you
haven't
haven't
done a
really?
lot. Matter of fact, you're my first show in Hollywood.
No, I'm talking about.
Everyone in Hollywood, they wanna be a star. And everybody knows someone who knows someone who is. There's an agent and he's hanging out at every other corner. And one or two or three or four at every other bar. In Hollywood. Yes, I'm glad to be in Hollywood.
Hello again. With us today is an entertainer whose name not only conjures up thoughts of comedy, but of a most unique hairstyle as well. He's funny man Marty Allen. Also joining us is stage and screen actress Trisha Parks, who is currently to be seen in the enormously successful production of Tamara. And now, here's your man of the half hour,
Marty Allen.
Skippy Lowe.
Marty Allen, don't you do that. Tell me, hello there. Where did you get that phrase? Hello there. You always use that phrase, hello there. Where did that come from?
Actually, before I start anything,
before you ever start,
I want to tell you something, Skip.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable how many people mistake me for you.
You're joking. Did you win the... That's a funny line. That's very... Tell me something.
Hello There
Hello
actually
there.
began as one when Alan and Rossi were in the Latin Casino in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, yeah.
And Steve asked me a question. I kind of blanked out. And I looked at him. And the only thing that came to my mind was, hello there. And the people reacted and started laughing. And I kept saying it like a parrot, going, hello there, hello there. And after the show, people walked over and said, hello there. And I suddenly realized that I had found a catchphrase that eventually became an international catchphrase.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That's it.
I love that town. Joe Heller. Remember?
Jackie Heller.
Jackie Heller.
Joe Heller.
Joe Heller,
Was
the
a booker?
agent. The booking.
Oh.
Yeah. At the Twin
Yeah.
Coaches. I worked it for Jackie, Joe, and I worked Jackie's Club. I
Yeah,
worked Lenny
Pittsburgh
Lipman's Copa.
was- yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yes, you didn't know that, but those towns were great. Those days.
Pittsburgh was a good show town.
You started in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, my hometown. We started out of Pittsburgh.
Like what?
Well, actually, playing small clubs.
Right.
You know, just little clubs around. And then I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do, Skip. I wrote a lot, writing
material?
and I was interested in journalism.
Really?
And I thought someday I'd like to be a reporter on a newspaper because I look great in a trench coat. And
Alan Ladd.
and I came out here and I was taking courses.
You came out to California?
Yeah, in journalism. I came out with a cousin, and somebody asked me if I'd appear in a small club down on South Vermont. And I went there, and I stayed there like about 8 weeks, and next thing I know, I was working little clubs around.
When did Buddy Allen come into your life?
Buddy Allen?
Yeah, Buddy Allen.
Oh, the agent?
And
Well,
Mitch D. Wood.
Oh, my God.
Come on, tell me. When
Well, Mitch was my, we had teamed for a while.
Right.
He
He was
through
your first-
Danny
he was your
Thomas.
first.
Yeah. And then after Mitch, I was with Sarah Vaughan on the road in Pittsburgh. At
the Copa, probably.
One of Lenny
Yeah,
Lipman's wife.
Yeah, right.
And she took a liking to me, and her manager at that time was her husband. He recommended me to Nat King Cole. And then I went on the road with Nat King Cole as the comic. And then Steve Rossi was a production singer at the Sands Hotel in Vegas. And he told him he was tired of being a production singer and he wanted to be a part of an act, like Martin and Lewis.
Right.
And what he did was he suggested we get together. And I was appearing with Edie Gourmet at the Shapery in Chicago. And Steve called me and said he was interested in doing an act, and Nat recommended him. I said, well, fly in and we'll see. We got together, and it caught fire.
Where was the first club?
Nat, well, we were all small clubs, and reaction was so terrific. We called Nat up and said we were ready, and he took us back to the Shea in Chicago, Sands in Las Vegas, Copacabana, which was the Mecca in New York City. And that was the beginning of
Became New
comedy,
Jerry Lewis.
the comedy
Yeah,
team of
comedy
Allen and Rossi.
and Rossi.
And we were together 15 years.
But you split up 4 times, 3 times.
No,
4
no,
times,
just
4
once
times?
for about 12 years.
I think you split up a couple times. Went
No,
back
no.
again?
No, only
No?
one time.
That's all?
One time. We
Okay.
split up, and then I was doing more movies and more things on television, up and down. I was on everything but the prayer. And
but you did Merv Griffith's show. Buddy Allen used to get you Merv Griffith shows.
I
a
did
lot.
Merv, I did Mike, I did all the
Ed Sullivan show.
I was semi-regular on Hollywood Squares. I did everything. And then when I married Katie,
Frenchie?
well,
Katie?
Frenchie passed away.
Passed away, yeah.
And I didn't get married for a long time, and then I met Katie, and we're now married 5 years. And Katie Blackwell, my wife, is
How did you find her?
on Sunset at a place called Cyrano's.
Ah, lovely restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
And Katie was writing music out here. And I met her at Cyrano's, and I heard her play the piano and sing, and I was so taken by it.
Yes.
I said, why don't we go, I'd like to take you on the road with me. We went on the road, and we were doing very well. We were in Atlantic City at the Playboy Hotel, and Steve Rossi was in the audience, and I introduced him, and the people went crazy. Next thing you know, they asked me if we would get back together as a nostalgia.
As again, I thought you did 3 times.
No, just once,
Okay.
Skip. And we got together, and it was a smash. And we've been in Atlantic City and Vegas, and we just filmed our 25th anniversary of the whole act, which is now being, cut up and see what we're doing. We have 14 of the biggest stars in cameos. We have Don Rickles, Jerry Lewis, Phyllis Diller, Red Fox, Humperdinck.
God, you had them all. Yes.
Norm Crosby. It is unbelievable who we have.
I remember in New York City, you used to work all these wonderful clubs, the Copa. You closed the Copa.
Copacabana was the greatest.
The greatest club. You closed it, really. And then you went on right on the Ed Sullivan Show, and boy, with the Beatles.
Well, yeah, we had a lot of success.
God. But the
Beatles arrived.
When they arrived on the Ed Sullivan Show, there was Marty Allen, Allen and Rossi. Look at that.
With the Beatles,
with
that
the Beatles. There they are.
And what happened was nobody wanted to go on with the Beatles because the kids were just screaming and screaming. And about 5 acts turned them down.
I love this one.
Yeah.
This one's great.
John and I, backstage. Isn't that a fabulous?
This is John. Isn't that wonderful?
You look through the glasses, you can see my image through his dark glasses.
Look at that. You get it real good?
You know the funniest thing, Skip, was that Sullivan said, you're going on with the Beatles. And I was backstage, and I said, how do you get the kids' attention?
Quiet, yes.
They were screaming, and I said, they'll never listen to us unless you get their attention.
Exactly.
And when he said Alan and Rossi, I walked out, and I looked right in the camera, and I went, hello there, I'm Ringo's mother. And the kids started screaming, it's his mother! And they started screaming.
That's wonderful.
And it was a great reaction.
Yeah,
and then we were with him again in Florida.
God, you were. Trisha Parks, you're sitting there who worked at the
She's
Beatles.
listening. Hi, Trish.
Oh my God,
Trisha
I've got to
Parks.
see that picture. Can I see it up
You
close?
certainly can, darling. Which one? Trisha
Isn't that
Parks.
fabulous?
Trisha Parks is a
You
wonderful.
talk about Trisha while she looks at the picture.
Trisha, Marty.
Is that a wild picture?
Marty,
That
isn't it great, Trisha?
That is great.
Trisha Parks is a
Keep
lovely
it
actress
laughing.
right now, and she is playing in a show called Tamara.
Yeah.
It's a fun show. I haven't
Nice
seen it.
show.
Is it really? What's it about, Tamara?
Oh, it's
Tell 'em.
fabulous. Tamara is.
You're such a pretty girl. God. Okay.
Oh, you're blushing.
Go ahead.
Tamara, first of all, is a Cubist artist, and she comes to this villa to paint Gabriele D'Annunzio's portrait. This takes place in 1927 in Gardone, Italy, just like north central Italy, in this villa. And the interesting thing about the play is there are 10 characters in it. I play Carlotta Bara. I play this Italian ballerina. This little Italian ballerina, she's a 17-year-old virgin who comes to the villa to get D'Annunzio, the head of the villa, to write her a letter of recommendation to dance for Diaghilev. So I have come there. I'm this extremely Catholic fascist. I mean, this is the rise of fascism in 1927 Italy. There's all this political stuff going on. So I'm this very, Catholic virgin, upright girl coming to this extremely decadent, house, because Gabriele D'Annunzio was a writer, a poet. In World War I, he was a hero, he was a patriot. He's known for his wild affairs with Isadora Duncan and Eleanor Duza, and he's just. But anyways, I've come there to get this letter of recommendation to dance. Okay, so I'm there. I'm one of the guests in the house. Tamara, at the opening of the show, Tamara arrives, and the house is turned upside down, and the play takes place in 2 days. And she's supposed to be there to paint his portrait. I've been there for a week. He won't watch me dance because I'm just this little thing.
Yes.
And in 2 days, the house, everything goes all over the place. It's crazy.
You seem like you're having a fun.
It's fabulous.
You're enjoying it.
Fabulous. Because it's a whole different thing. It's not a proscenium stage. It's an actual. It's a beautifully. It's
The
very
audience
theatrical.
can
The audience comes into the house, and in very beautiful way, the play is set up. I open the show. I'm this little dancer. I'm wearing this full-on classic tutu and my toe shoes, and the whole bit, your hair up and
You
the wreath.
follow the same script every night.
And every night I have my purpose for being there. I have what I need.
Your
But
set lines.
I'm set.
Yes.
Exactly. And the audience comes in, is introduced to everybody, and then we'll pick a character they want to follow.
Want to follow.
And my character, in the meantime, ends up having a relationship with
Well,
everybody
if I was
else
the audience,
in the house.
I'd follow you.
You'd follow her.
I wouldn't care what it was.
Marty, Germany. Tell me about Germany. Yes, she's a lovely girl. You know, this is
She's
Michael.
a young Grace Kelly.
Yes, she is.
Oh,
very, very.
and
You're
she'll eventually be.
You got a
I look
very
at her
good
face.
eye. Marty, tell me about Germany. Gisela Gunter. Gisela Gunter. Because I was working in Germany with the Everly brothers, and you were there several times for Gisela. Gisela Gunter in Frankfurt, Germany. You worked. You never worked. Marty Allen, Steve Rossi, and Marty Allen. Never worked Germany.
We didn't. We played London. We were with Shirley Bassey in London.
You didn't work Germany.
No.
I thought you worked Germany. I swear, I thought you worked the Officers Club in Wiesbaden. Think
No,
about it.
oh, wait a minute, I know
That's
what you
right.
mean.
Now, come on.
Steve Rossi.
Steve Rossi. Okay, okay.
No, I
okay.
wasn't with him
You're-
at that time.
That's probably what I got confused. When I
In
hear
fact, he may have been there when I split up the act.
because you split up, see?
Now,
That's
see,
it. You're
I'll tell
right.
you
See,
what
I get
happened.
confused.
You're very observant.
Yes, I
Skip.
am.
You
Because
know
I was
you-
there.
you
I
know
was
you're-
working. And Steve Rossi and my.
Now, I'll tell you when I split up the act and went on to do movies and television, Steve first teamed with Slappy White, and then he went with a guy named
That's
Bernie Allen.
Right.
And they called the act Allen and Rossi.
Rossi. That's what
but
got
it was
me
not
confused.
the original Allen.
That's
Rossi.
what got me confused. They worked in Germany.
They probably
were
worked
there.
the
They
Officers
certainly do. All the clubs in Germany.
Because you're saying Gisela, and I didn't.
Tell me about the films. You're enjoying doing films?
I love doing films. I love acting. Because
Better than the clubs? Because you came from a club family. You know, your father owned a nightclub.
Yeah, but you see, the idea is that you have a lot inside you. And comedy itself, you know, you go on to something much more fulfilling. When I broke up the act...
Comics all want to be actors.
But comics are good
But
actors.
they are, exactly.
Alan King.
Exactly.
Alan
Red Buttons,
King,
all of
Red
it.
Buttons.
You're absolutely right. They become...
Because they have a great feeling inside of knowing what about people. The first thing I did, Skip, when I broke up the act, I was in Vegas and I was seen, and they called me for Big Valley with Barbara Stanwyck.
How was it
and
working
Linda
with her?
Evans.
How was it working with her?
Well, I'm going to tell you a story. They had a part called the Jonah, which they run all the time. A little guy who comes to the ranch and everything goes wrong, and he gets blamed for it. And they asked me to come in, and they said, "We want you for this part." It was straight dramatic. And nominated for an Emmy.
Yes, remember.
On that, on my first roll
first
out. It was very fulfilling, and it really.
And you
did
never
a lot.
studied acting?
No. And
Never?
as far as Barbara Stanwyck, she's one of the loveliest ladies. She would show me how to put my head in a certain light. Or
She
how
helped
to,
you.
know,
Ah, nice.
And was
See?
very kind. Linda
Yes.
was extremely
Yes,
warm and kind.
This lovely lady is Michael Parks' daughter.
It will not be too
Michael
long
Litt, but
before
you're
they
very,
say.
very pretty. Trisha, you've done films. What have you done lately?
Well, I did 2 independent films, very sort of independent.
Yes.
But fabulous. I mean, they're the sort of typical independent B or more
Don't
like
worry
Y
about it.
films, like why are they made films.
Why are they made?
But I learned.
Well,
a
you learn.
tremendous
With
amount.
each
I
film,
learned
you learn. and
so
that's
much.
it.
What's happening with Michael
great.
Parks nowadays? Michael is doing.
just-
He's doing so well. He's such a good actor.
He's so fine.
He is.
He's so fine. Speaking, I mean, he helped me on these films that you do like in 2 weeks for 16 hours a day. I would go to him, I say, Michael, what can I do? I have to do something. Help me. He'd go through the script. He'd give me great bits, great stuff, great insight, try this, that, opposites. I mean, stuff that just make your imagination go, oh, oh. And then he'd write on the top of the script, well, at least it has a sense of humor, or make sure you have a sense of humor. Anything to save you, have a sense of humor. Right now, though, he's in Canada.
He's doing a film in
doing
Canada.
I think it's a TV. Might be a pilot.
Do you
or
sing?
something.
Do you dance?
Yes.
You do sing.
I
You dance.
I dance.
Yes, you dance.
I
in the show.
sing.
Yes.
Well, she's the ballerina.
But I'm
yes,
the essay
right.
dance
But
quite a bit.
I see. You study acting here, do you?
With the show, I'm not studying anymore, but I have. And I went to school.
Did you
to
grow up
UCLA.
here in California with your dad?
No, I was born in Minnesota. I was born in Duluth.
Uh-huh.
And then we've traveled. we're pretty transient. We've traveled all over,
Uh-huh.
all the time.
You have
It's
a
quite
brother,
wonderful.
right?
I have a brother.
Uh-huh.
I have a brother, Jimmy.
Okay.
Door, right?
Is he also going to be in the
Right,
business?
Door. Yes. He's got every bit of Michael and that magic.
Yes,
You know, Michael just.
Yes. Do you have any children, Marty?
None
no
that I
children.
know
Because it hurt you when Frenchie died. She was
Yeah.
such a great lady, really a great
I
lady.
know.
I remember the time I saw you on the ferry going to. I was working on the Staten Island. I was coming home, and you were coming in
Yeah,
and
she
driving
was a
in.
fabulous
Oh God,
woman.
she was such a lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
I loved her, and she had a lot to do with your career
Yeah.
and helped you, didn't
Yes.
she?
She was
and
very-
and it really tore your heart apart
Yeah.
when you lost her, and people thought you would never get married.
I thought I'd
again,
never
but
get married, and then
but
I
you found
somebody.
You seem happy now.
She's very lovely. Very
What
lovely.
is new and exciting in your life right now?
My wife.
Is
because she is in the act, and
she is in your act.
She conducts the orchestra and
Uh-huh.
plays the piano and sings.
Yes.
And fabulous singer.
Is she? Huh?
She's a female Jerry Lee Lewis because she pounds that piano.
Really?
and sings. Well, you'll see her.
You're working ships a lot nowadays.
Well, we did the Norway also.
Uh-huh.
We did Vegas. We were 8 weeks in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
SS Norway.
You said you just got back from Singapore. You were in Singapore recently.
Well, I did a play.
A play?
When she said tomorrow, I did one of the murder play.
Uh-huh.
Similar idea with the audience
Uh-huh.
involved.
Uh-huh.
And we did it at the Westin Hotel in Singapore.
Uh-huh.
And then when it was over, I took my wife, we went to Hong Kong.
Oh,
and we bought everything. And a fortune.
Do you live here in California, Marty?
Yes.
Looking back over your career, I mean, Pittsburgh, you know, you've traveled around, been around. I remember, looking back over your career, do you have any regrets at all or anything you would like to do again? Or you would do better?
I think, well, no, you sometimes think about things like that, but I think that you go on with your life and every day should be another new experience. And
You learn from your pains?
You learn from your pain.
You do.
And you learn from both ways, sorrow and happiness. And with each thing, you mature a lot.
Uh-huh.
And you can't look back. You have to keep going
forward. Dick Roman.
Because a little while,
Yeah.
they'll be saying
that's right.
Trisha Parks, Michael Parks' daughter.
She's beautiful, yes. Looking back over Dick Roman. Remember Dick Roman? Great singer. You were working a club once.
knew Dick.
No, yes, of
Nice
course. You worked with him because he gave me my name,
Very
Skippy
talented.
Lowe. That name, Skippy
Very
Lowe.
talented
singer.
singer.
Great singer. Wonderful singer. He was from Brooklyn. Tell me something about New York. Theater. Would you like to? I mean, you're
I
doing
would
it here.
love-
Would you?
I would
why
love
don't
to
you
do
go
New
to New York? The theater is so good there.
She has
I
to
would
work
love to.
tonight, Skip.
I know, I do. I have a show tonight.
No.
I would actually love to do the show in New York. So,
Uh-huh.
I mean, maybe take some time off here and go and try it in tomorrow.
Either
tomorrow
that
or
or
something
find a
else.
good play. Someone should get you into a good play.
I would love it. That's
Somewhere
my
around
next
the country
thought.
and
You
then
do,
go
you
into
do a lot
New
of
York.
plays here in Los Angeles. There is a good theater here, though.
There
Theater
is.
is good here in Los
For some
Angeles.
reason, it's not the pulse of the city
Uh-huh.
here. It's not, you know, it's
You
a
ever
little
been
on
to
the
New
outside.
York?
I've been there to visit, to hang out for briefly.
Isn't
but I
it
love
great?
It's great.
Marty,
New York in the fall.
well, why don't you do a one-man show, Marty Allen? What everyone else is
Those are
doing.
good.
What is wrong with Marty Allen doing a one-man show?
No,
Huh?
it could happen.
Is it? Is it
Could
going to
happen.
Is it going to happen?
Well, it could,
I mean,
Skip.
You thinking about it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Who should I do, Skip?
well, I don't know. Do yourself, Marty. You've been around. You know anyone? You write all your own material.
I
right?
write a lot of it, yeah.
Do you write for other people too, Marty?
Once in a while, I'll help them if, like Trisha says,
Please.
give them a script and then I add on to it.
I see. How about the young comedians at the Comedy Store? What do you? I mean,
Well, how do I?
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of good ones.
Uh-huh.
I don't think the ones that resort to the real
language,
bad language, and
Yeah.
and getting real is not necessary because
Tell me
great comics have never had to use that.
Never.
There are great ones: Jay Leno, Gary Shanley.
yes.
These are terrific guys.
How about a television show, Marty? You had a TV show.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
lo-
with Marty Allen, you you paid.
Well, you have to know which direction to go, Skip, and either a good film or a TV show.
So I'm looking at you. You're saying film first. So see, you at the beginning of the show, you said you love film.
I would even do a
see,
play.
You're an actor. You actually
Yeah.
you want to get away from comedy.
Yeah.
I see it. I'm looking at you. You're very dramatic.
Maybe Trisha.
You
and
are.
I.
You want to be an actor. Don't you feel that, Trisha? Doesn't he feel like he wants to be a real dramatic actor? And I believe it. That's very good. That's excellent. Trisha,
Yes.
play tomorrow.
Play.
Where is it? How long it's going to be here? It's been here a long time.
It's been here. It's going into its 5th year.
5th?
They're saying it might close in about a month, 4 more weeks.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. We're hoping.
How's business doing there? Good?
Because of the possibility of it closing,
You have
it's
an
doing
agent?
good. I have an agent.
Uh-huh.
A nice man. Good man. And
See, while you're in the play now, you should be bringing people in.
Yeah, true.
To
How about
see you.
Marty, how about a comedy book? You wrote several. You'd get some. Tell me about it. How's it doing?
What?
Why, you have another one
Comedy
coming out?
book? Well, I might switch off to something a little different.
Like what?
Diversify, Skip. Do things that people would not expect Marty Allen to do.
Well, I'm looking at you today. You're very dramatic for me today. I don't know why. You're not. You know, Marty Allen's the singing guy I know. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Joe Heller and all those great days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You still see Steve Rossi?
Oh yeah, we're doing.
You're still good buddies.
We still do a lot of.
I know, but you're still good buddies. So yes.
Oh yeah.
You've always been good
We're
buddies.
doing shows. Yeah.
You're still
we are the only comedy team to part very amicably, and get back together again. There was no. Just I wanted to do other things, and he went into producing shows up in Vegas, and I wanted to do more TV. And
It's difficult to be a team, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
it's
it's
very
like a
difficult.
marriage. It's a
Like a
divorce.
marriage.
It's really
when you break up, you can't kiss and make up.
Can't. It's
No,
divorce.
well, you can.
Well, I mean, but it's
it's
difficult, isn't
a lot
it?
of difficult, Trish.
What gave Marty Allen?
Two
Marty,
guys sitting there kissing.
Marty.
And say we should never have done that.
Marty Allen. What gave Marty Allen the idea for the hair? I want to know the hair.
natural.
That is your hair.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's a wig,
No,
but it's no. But I mean, but it's your hair.
No,
So
it
tell
used
me.
to be way out.
Yeah.
In fact,
What gave you
I
the-
think I actually started. Well, actually, what happened is my mother would take me to get a haircut, and I'd always catch cold, so I said, no more haircuts. And besides, when you're 33 years old sitting on a pony, it's ridiculous in a barber shop.
33. It's real.
Soft. You like it.
When did it all happen, though, Marty?
I gave her my comb.
Oh, you did too.
The payoff, Skip, is that I really had the first one actually to have an afro.
Yes.
Even before the brothers thought of it.
That's right.
But the funny bit is, recently in Atlantic City, 2 men came over to me and said, "Do you have tickets for the fight, for the Tyson fight?" I said, "I have tickets for the fight." They said, "Aren't you Don King?"
You get. I bet you a lot of people think you're Don King with that hair.
Well, I met Don King, and
What does
I
he-
kept calling him Dad. He got hysterical.
Did he really?
Because his hair goes straight up like that.
You spent a lot of time in New York, Marty?
Yeah, last summer we did.
About the mountains. Remember those years in the mountains? You used to
Mountains
work
were
the
fabulous.
Catskills?
There are not as
Those-
many hotels anymore.
God, it used to be fun to work the
Yeah.
Catskills. I used to work
Yeah.
it up in Fallsburg.
We've been in Florida. We've been in the Catskills. Steve, Katie, and I will be back on tour in Florida.
Those
Lot
are some
of
of your
work.
great moments of show business, Marty. Right now, you can think of like nightclubs. Say,
Well,
for instance-
Copacabana has got to be
gotta
the
be.
most thrilling thing that ever happened.
It's got to be, isn't it?
It was the Mecca. When you walk out and you see all these stars, and being invited by Danny from Danny's Hideaway.
Yes.
You saw all the stars sitting right in front of you.
Right.
And you walked out to perform before the biggest.
Wow.
Really the biggest.
What is happening to our business today?
Well, it's changed a
don't-
lot. It's
we
concerts.
don't
it's
have
one
those
night.
clubs out
No,
there with great
They only
people.
have the comedy clubs in Vegas and Reno.
Who would ever walk out in jeans in those days? Jeans
No
and
way.
sneakers on stage. How dare them, or anyone, to walk on
Well,
stage?
it's a more casual attitude,
It's
Skip,
it's not, but it's, you know.
I know
it's-
it isn't the way you see it, the way we see it in the tuxedo coming out. That kind of.
Do you do any records at all? Albums?
We did albums. It was Allen and Rossi at the Sands. It was Hello There, Hello
Uh-huh.
There One More Time. son of hello there, and whatever.
Hello there, yeah.
Hello there. Up and down.
Have you ever seen Marty Allen and Steve Rossi work?
No.
Never?
Trisha
See these young kids. I mean, there must be new audiences out there for you, Marty.
Well, if we come
There
back
must
to
be
Vegas,
new audiences out.
Please. I was at the theater. I mean, all week I've been
New
saying I'm doing
audiences.
Skippy Lowe's show, right? With Marty Allen. Everybody knew who you were. Everybody, the head.
Of course, they know. Of course. Because
so I
it's-
got briefed before.
You got briefed?
I got briefed.
Oh, you did? Tell me about your dad. Is he coming back after Canada here?
I think so. He's been spending some time in Louisiana as well. He's got some real close friends there.
Uh-huh.
So he's been spending some time in New Orleans and.
Your dad writes.
Opening a gumbo.
He writes.
He writes,
Oh.
yes.
He
Michael
should.
Parks.
Opening a gumbo restaurant.
No, he loves gumbo.
He's
But
written
Michael,
a couple
Michael
of
Parks,
beautiful
good
screen.
writer.
Oh.
Tell me
He's-
about the scripts.
He's written 2 that are complete and are, I mean, full projects that he's trying to get budgeted and trying to get put together.
I think it's-
Beautiful. One, Long Road Home is one of them. It's beautiful. Kind of his story when he was a kid, Salinas, Northern California. It's great. Another one, I don't know what he's calling it. It's about a B director who gets an A project.
Oh, the one in Texas.
Yeah, it's great. But he's
You know, Marty,
fabulous.
you're right. She has the quality of Grace Kelly. She really does. She,
What a
She's
wonderful
lovely.
thing.
Aren't you happy you did the show
She's-
today?
She's very, very lovely. You're very young.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
26.
26. You're very young. Very
Well,
pretty.
she,
live,
you get out there.
24, 23.
She has that great quality, like
Yes.
like Grace had when Grace first came.
Is
Did
it
you know her?
difficult? What?
Did you know her? No.
You didn't know her, Marty? Who's some of the wonderful people that you, like the Beatles? Tell me about this one. I like.
If I start telling you all this stuff.
No, the one about this one. This
Oh,
is about
John.
John.
He was funny. We were backstage, and I
love-
had just told him a terrific joke, and I said, "Listen,